There comes a time in your life when love feels different than it did before. Not louder, not faster, just quieter. That's what happens to Finn. After all the heartbreak, the chasing, the messy feelings, he doesn't fall in love the way he used to. This time, it sneaks up on him. Not as an obsession, but as understanding. This is the story of how Finn finds love again and how he's changed with everything that happened before it. It begins with Jake looking for his brother.
But where's Finn? I need him on this adventure.
Finn's been missing for 2 weeks, off the grid, deep in the wild.
Word on the street is Finn's been hanging with a new lady.
Who the honk is it?
Jake's not worried, just curious. So he stretches up through the trees, high above the canopy, and what he sees makes him pause. There, under the moonlight, is Finn, playing a flute. And across from him, Huntress Wizard, quiet, listening. Jake watches from above, not wanting to interrupt what looks like a ritual, or maybe a date. But just as the music begins to settle, Huntress Wizard steps back. And like that, she's gone. Jake drops down, sobbing.
I'm sorry, man. I want you to have a healthy relationship with someone cool.
But Finn shrugs. He said it's not like that. He's just helping her summon a forest spirit with music, alone, in the woods, for 2 weeks. Jake's not buying it, and neither are we. Because here's what we know. This isn't the Finn who kissed girls to feel better. This isn't the Finn who begged to be loved. This is someone different, someone who isn't rushing into feelings, someone who's learned how to wait. So Finn tells Jake how it all started. It was a quiet day, no quests, no kingdom in danger, just Finn, a river, and a flute. He sat naked in the water, letting his grass arm guide the melody, a song that wasn't for anyone until she appeared. Huntress Wizard. She stood at the edge of the river like she'd been listening for miles.
You're what I've been looking for.
And just like that, something shifted. A connection. One that neither of them could quite name. And it stayed that way. No confessions, no pressure, just 2 people wandering the forest. Finn playing his flute, Huntress Wizard listening. She says it's to summon the forest spirit. He says he's just helping her. But that's not the whole truth.
Finn, that's not why you're here.
Because the truth is, this is the first time Finn's been close to someone since it all went wrong. Since Princess Bubblegum kept him at arm's length. Since Flame Princess burned too hot and too fast. Since Rose Linen was just a dream. Since Breezy left him feeling emptier than before. This time, he's not trying to prove anything. He's just being, and somehow, that's enough. Now they're facing a problem though. The flute spell isn't working. Huntress Wizard thinks she has the solution though.
I think the problem is your flute. We should make you a better one from a magical tusk, like the tusk of the legendary thunder boar that lives in these woods.
So she invites him into her world, to her home among the trees, to drink from a spring of visions, to hunt a magical boar whose tusk will become the perfect instrument. In the morning, Huntress Wizard leads them to a spring. She says drinking from it will grant them immunity to the lightning boar, but it comes with a side effect, strange dreams. Finn drinks anyway, without hesitation. And just like that, the forest folds around him. He finds himself in a hallucination where he meets the forest spirit. Not as a monster, not as a threat, but as a mirror. The spirit offers him the Finn sword, but not to fight with.
Now plunge that into your heart.
And Finn just does it. He doesn't ask if it's safe, he doesn't ask if it'll work, he just trusts, with just a little bit of lingering obsession.
I'll do it, to help Huntress Wizard.
Now, the old Finn, the one who ran headfirst into every problem, would have demanded control, would have pushed, flailed, begged for a solution. But this Finn? He's learning to sit with things, to let the melody guide him, to take a leap of faith. Not for glory, but for growth. And when he awakes, he's changed. Not just immune to lightning, but clearer, calmer. Not because the dream made him powerful, but because he let it speak to him. The old relationships, they taught him to chase. This one, it's teaching him something different. Something we're about to see. With his immunity awakened, Finn, Jake, and Huntress Wizard set off to find the Electric Boar. It's not just a battle, it's a test. This time, Finn doesn't try to impress a girl or chase her, he just lets her do her thing. All he eventually does is tear off the tusk with his bare hands, and the boar, in classic Adventure Time fashion, rolls its eyes and says they could have just asked.
You just wanted a tusk? You could have asked.
The tusk grows back instantly, because the real challenge wasn't strength or power or battling, it was the intention. Huntress Wizard carves the tusk into a new flute, a jagged, lightning-shaped melody waiting to be played. Finn plays it. And again, it doesn't work. Not at first.
You can stop. He's gone for good, and I should just deal.
Jake, ever the romantic, nudges them both.
Hey, why don't you two try playing together? Use that chemistry to guide the music.
So they play. And the forest stirs. The spirit returns, not from one player's force, but from two in sync. That's what the symbolic meaning of the flute spell is really about. Not magic, not even necessarily romance. Harmony. In past relationships, Finn played louder, tried to lead the rhythm. But here, he listens, adjusts, flows with her instead of at her. As the spirit chats with Huntress Wizard, Finn realizes this was never about the spirit. Not for him. He looks at her and admits, finally,
I was playing my flute for you the whole time.
simply, honestly, he tells her that she's great, and she doesn't deflect. She steps forward, and then she kisses him.
My flute spell was for you too.
Not dramatic, not fireworks, just honest. She smiles.
You're an exceptional beast, but exceptional beasts like us cannot fall in love. That is the secret of ordinary people.
Because to her, love makes you soft, makes you vulnerable, and that's still a threat. But Finn, he doesn't argue, he doesn't plead, he doesn't break. He just nods, he accepts it. Because this time, it's not about getting the girl, it's about being okay with not needing to. That's what makes this different. With Bubblegum, he obsessed over her. With Flame Princess, he self-destructed and harmed others. But with Huntress Wizard, he simply let it be.
Take it easy, Huntress Wizard.
Back at the treehouse, Finn thanks Jake, not for his advice, but for his presence. Because healing doesn't come from closure, it comes from a gradual understanding. And in this quiet moment, we see it. Finn isn't just moving on from love, he's growing into it.
I'm sorry it didn't work out with Huntress Wizard. She just needs time to miss how cool you are.
Attracting forces come and go, man.
That episode is the last we see from Huntress Wizard for about 2 seasons. When we see her again, a lot has changed. In the next chapter of their relationship, episode The Wild Hunt, we don't see a dramatic confession or a breakup. We see something quieter and deeper.
Don't kill me, Finn.
Here I go.
Finn can't bring himself to fight anymore. Even when a wild monster threatens the Candy Kingdom, Finn hesitates. He freezes, because hurting things, even dangerous things, reminds him too much of Fern, who he had to kill days before. And that hesitation, that echo of guilt, nearly costs lives.
Jake, I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
Love you forever, man, but
Your guilt's hurting the team dynamics.
It's not the monster that saves him,
It's getting away.
Oh, Huntress Wizard.
it's Huntress Wizard. Not to flirt, not to save the day, but to get him to understand. She watches Finn struggle, and together they track the creature. That's when Finn confesses he can't bring himself to kill. He can't stop seeing Fern.
Every time I'm about to wail on some monster, I remember seeing Fern go kaboom. Guilt paralyzes me. I can't seem to final blow anybody.
So Huntress devises a plan. When the creature strikes again, she takes out its legs and Finn strikes its belly. But when that doesn't work, she makes a bold move and puts herself in danger. Only because she trusts Finn. She believes he'll act. Not because he has to, or because he's trying to prove anything, but because he'd want to.
Huntress Wizard, get out of the way!
Finn doesn't let her down. He saves her. But more than that, he saves a piece of himself. Because HW didn't try to fix him.
Yeah, right. We both know you're totally in love with me.
She made space for him to choose. In every past relationship, Finn tries too hard, made grand gestures, tangled himself in obsession. But this time, he does less. And it means more. That's the lesson. The people who truly help us heal aren't always the ones who try their hardest to fix us. They're the ones who let us show up when we're ready and give a gentle guiding hand. And in that space, the one between silence and support, trust grows. The last major appearance we see HW make isn't on a big adventure, it's a party. Finn turns 17, surrounded by friends, and there she is, Huntress Wizard, on the edge of it all. She approaches slowly, holding a gift box. Inside, an Elk Heart. Raw, bleeding, still warm. It's not what most people would call romantic, but that's not the point.
It has emotional and metaphorical significance.
Finn doesn't laugh, he doesn't get awkward, he doesn't retch, he doesn't even blink. Because something in him recognizes the truth in it. It's not the heart that matters, it's the fact that she offered it. Now, the Elk Heart isn't just weird, it's Huntress Wizard, distilled, primal, direct, and deeply sincere. It's symbolic too, of course. The heart is an organ of life, of emotion, of vulnerability. To hand it over isn't just a romantic gesture, it's an act of courage. But maybe more importantly, it's an act of trust. And trust is the one thing neither of them has ever given away easily. Finn's younger self would have made this moment about himself. He would have taken the gift and spun it into a story, proof that she loved him, confirmation of something. But here, he doesn't need proof, he doesn't need clarity, he just accepts it. Sometimes that's what maturity looks like. Not knowing where something will go, but still being present for it. There's no final conversation, no big "what are we" talk, because not everything real needs to be defined. Sometimes that kind of love is found in shared stillness, in letting someone walk beside you without needing them to follow you, in watching someone drift towards the trees and knowing they'll return, not because you asked them to, but because they chose to. That's what Finn and Huntress Wizard have now. Not certainty, but something better. Peace. And after all the chaos, that's enough. Love in this story isn't loud. It doesn't demand declarations or finality. It moves like the forest, slow, patient, and alive with quiet meaning. And there's a lot of symbolism involved. Starting with the forest. Huntress Wizard lives in the wild, not in castles or kingdoms, but in a place where things grow slowly, where things are untamed, where silence isn't awkward, it's sacred. And that's where Finn ends up, not just physically, but emotionally. He's not igniting fires anymore like he did with Flame Princess. He's learning to sit among the trees, to feel things bloom over time, to understand that real connection isn't sparked, it's grown. That's why their moments matter. Not because they're dramatic, but because they're still. Then there's the mask, which HW never removes. She keeps it on, even in moments of closeness. And yet, Finn never asks to see her face. That might have bothered him once, but now, he knows that not everything has to be unveiled to be understood. Sometimes love is letting someone keep their mask, and loving them anyway. Because what matters isn't the face, it's the presence, the choice to show up at all. And finally, there's symbolism in the hunt. Finn used to chase love. With Flame Princess, he ran after it, desperate to possess, to prove, to win. But with Huntress Wizard, he does something harder. He waits. Because this isn't a chase, it's a hunt. And he's not the hunter, she is. The rules are different now, and he's okay with that. Because love, real love, isn't about the prize at the end, it's about the journey you take to meet someone where they are. And then, staying there, even if only for a while. So, what does it teach? That love isn't always about knowing someone fully. Sometimes it's about accepting the pieces they choose to share with you. It's about growing like trees, side by side, not tangled, not demanding. It's about giving someone the freedom to disappear into the woods and the peace of knowing they might come back. This wasn't a love story in the traditional sense. It was a lesson that emotional maturity isn't how loudly you love, it's how quietly you let someone be and how you have to become someone you love yourself for others to love you the same. If you enjoyed this look into the heart of a boy who's grown wiser with every heartbreak, you'll love our latest video on Darwin from the Amazing World of Gumball, the episode where he becomes family and what it teaches. Because sometimes the strongest bonds aren't chosen, they're earned. Click here to watch that next.